Greetings, ladies, gents, oddies, and all the in-betweens. I'm Crimson Slave, and this is my second, maybe my third late video, but there's an explanation for everything. This week, I had a very fast downturn, but I'll get to that because honestly it's going to collide back in that in the end anyway. It's Tuesday morning. I think I've gotten 5 hours of sleep for the first time in forever. This week has been something. Truly something. The good parts of this week are that I went to go see Monkey Man. Super fucking amazing movie. Truly 10 out of 10 movie. Dave Patel did a great job with his movie. I'm super happy I got to go see it. My only regret is that despite the fact that I saw it like 4 or 5 days after release, they weren't making it available in XD. So I would have loved to see it with better sound quality, but regardless, still a great movie. This week has just been bad. Besides the movie, everything else kind of bad. So I recorded a video Monday. No, I recorded Monday. And I was sick then, and I was planning on like getting better and stuff. I went to work, and I realized that like I seemingly was fine when I went to work. And then I was drinking out of my water bottle, and then like I just suddenly started like overheating, getting lightheaded, and I don't know, I just like got sick suddenly, and it was just horrible. I tried to sit down, put my head down for like 30 minutes. I took pills for nausea, and it just didn't get better. I ate something, went home, and just was asleep sick. This is the start of how everything became worse. So I went home, was horribly sick, didn't feel good, and just crashed. I knew essentially from when I left and ate something, took a pill, they take more medicine. So I went to sleep. I asked my mom, give her my card, and was like, bring me back beef and broccoli. Because I thought about all the things that I could eat, and beef and broccoli had the lowest content of protein and had rice in it. And that's what I was going to eat. So I did that. So I went to sleep, took meds for sleep, and my mom came home, brought me back beef and broccoli. Now, I was on the verge of being like, okay, I've taken this, I still feel like shit. I'm going to take my meds that put me out. And earlier in the week that I'm recording this for, my grandparents randomly discovered that if I take my other meds for my gastroparesis, I will go out for 4 hours. So at some point during them being here, they apparently called me a lot, knocked on the door and opened the door, and I slept through that entire situation. I can't do anything about it. The gastroparesis is a lot of things, but I think my previous meds that I had while I was still in Delaware put me to sleep very easily. And I don't know if that's the reaction, how it is, or side effects to it, but it just knocks me out. It knocks me out for like 4 to 5 hours, but I wake up feeling better. It was a case that I came home, I was just tired. I just felt like horrible and just slept. I was on the verge of taking the other pills, which I'm happy, for so many reasons that I didn't. So about like 30 to 40 minutes after me waking up, which I think would put this around 6, 7 o'clock in the afternoon. Sorry, at night. My grandmother came home from church because people just love them some church in Florida. My grandmother came home. My grandmother came home. That was a fun thing. And she was going to her chair, missed it, fell. Now, my grandmother was being escorted by her friend's husband. Her friend's husband is like in his 60s, maybe his 70s. So I didn't want the 70-year-old person trying to pick up the 76-year-old woman. So I sent him home, put my grandmother into a chair. She was in great amounts of pain. Her feet were swelled. And I was just like, this isn't going to get better. So I decided to be the proactive person because no one else in my family is going to be. Because my grandfather basically just sat there complaining about things and spreading out orphan information about undelayed help. So I had to stop being sick for a couple of minutes and spring into focus mode. This led to me getting ibuprofen from my mother, giving it to my grandmother, and telling her that she probably won't be able to walk as easily because she fell and apparently was in immense pain. And I was like, we should go to the hospital with this. And she was like, no. Whatever. I gave her ibuprofen. I went back. I laid down. I was like, when you eventually come to a point where you want to go to bed, I will help you down the hall. This led to the logic a few hours later that my grandmother could not walk on her own. So this led to her saying, oh, I'll just use your grandfather's walker. And that's kind of what this turned into. That we learned that she couldn't put any weight onto the leg that she fell on. Which led to this whole ordeal of me having to lift my grandmother and put her into a walker and get her into bed, and frequent stopping and complaining about the pain that she was in. And throughout this, despite the fact that I had to wake my mother up, the sentiment was, if you're in this much pain, we should take you to a hospital. And that didn't work out. So I get my grandmother back to her room, I pick her up, I put her in bed, and I lay down. I tell my mother I'm gonna lay down. She's gonna get back up at some point. I want to use the bathroom. I'm giving her pills and medication and water. So she's probably gonna need to go to the bathroom at some point. Be ready for this. Because we thought that she was just being overdramatic. My grandmother is old, but she's overdramatic about a lot of things. And she fell. So we were like, she fell. We'll wait this out. A few hours passed. I think maybe 2 hours passed from this, and I think I put my grandmother. I think I put her in bed around 2. So somewhere around 4, my grandmother woke up and was like, "I have to go to the bathroom." So this led to a fun problem of trying to move her because I had put her flat in bed, which meant that I needed to now make her not flat, turn her over, flip her to get her into the thing, to get her into my grandfather's walker, then get the walker out of the room, and then get her from the walker. From there, without putting any weight onto her leg, from the walker to the bathroom, and then my mother will handle the rest. During this time period of me almost single-handedly doing this process by myself, I was like, we have to call someone. And she just kept saying, don't call a hospital. Don't call a hospital. No ambulance. I was like, it's 4 in the morning. I'm not going to keep doing this problem by myself with no help. I called my uncle. I claimed him. And that was interesting. But it eventually led to the logic of he needed to come because my mother's pleas and my suggestions from, a little bit of history with hospitals and being in pain and stuff, you just gotta go to hospital at some point. But, despite the fact that it took me 45 minutes of movement to get her to the toilet from her room, that's literally 25 steps away from where she sleeps at night, couldn't use the bathroom, got my uncle involved. So my uncle, once I went to go get my uncle, brought him over here, that led to about, I'd say 2 to 3.5 hour sorry, 2 hour, 3 hour rigmarole of my grandmother trying to do things, us trying to give her better things to do for it, her being in pain, not wanting to be moved, having an elderly moment, and trying to figure out what's best for her. But my grandparents have this really weird choice that don't listen to me and my mother. But my uncle was able to convince her into it by rating her pain and what she was going through, which led her to agree to go to the hospital. So from there, in about maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours from when it was decided we're going to the hospital, we had to go through a bigger process. But it led to help from my uncle's part, to getting her pushed, to get her outside, to being put to a car, to then getting into the car. So then I drove my grandmother to the hospital. On the way there, because at this point I got 4 hours of sleep, and I want to blow past this a little bit, but I'll blow past a little bit because this weekend has been horrible. I went to McDonald's to get breakfast. I generally don't eat breakfast very often. Like, I eat breakfast. I don't go to McDonald's very often, and when I do go to McDonald's, I don't really get things normally. But I got my mother and myself breakfast, and I got something that I've gotten for years. I usually get a bacon, egg and cheese McGriddle, or bacon, egg and cheese, or an egg McMuffin, extra hash brown, or and a burrito. And I'm used to that being like $7, $8. Maybe in my brain, maybe like $9 because tax is a thing in Florida. I got my mom breakfast, I got myself breakfast, and that cost me $22. And I was just like, I didn't get it. Like, I got myself a tea, I got myself an Arnold Palmer, I got my mom orange juice, it was $20. But in the moment, after everything I was dealing with, I didn't care, because I honestly just wanted to get my grandmother to the hospital. My grandmother ended up wanting something, so I got her a sandwich and orange juice, and that cost me $8 more. I paid $3 for breakfast. I don't know. But we went to the hospital. So this happened Saturday. So Sunday morning, we were at the hospital around 8ish. And because it was 8 o'clock, on a Sunday, I guess there weren't that many people in the emergency room. My grandmother got seen, got x-rayed, and apparently when she fell and broke her hip. So she needed to be admitted to the hospital. So that just led to this bigger problem. And my grandmother got moved and everything else. And me and my mother essentially were at the hospital from 8 a.m., 8:30, somewhere in that time frame, to 10 that night. Yeah, about 10 that night. So there was that. So like I want to say that was up 24 hours. I wasn't, because I got 4 hours of sleep, but 24 hours essentially from when it happened, because we got back to 10 that night, and then we had to do more stuff. But we left at 10. More stuff had to get figured out. So I was essentially up for like 26 hours, because we got back here officially at like 2. So that was a lot. So then, because of this, her having a fracture, because she fractured her hip, obviously surgery needed to be done. We'd get all this stuff together. So I basically got to come here for a nap, and then spent all of Monday in the hospital with my grandmother, who's on very strong drugs. I think she's on morphine, and going in and out. I don't know. I don't know. I just been taking care of my grandparents. So like I was there from that, and then like we got there, her thing got moved twice, so it didn't get done. So I essentially just was there most of the day. I got back here at some point Monday, and what I was thinking during this time period was I had a lot of downtime Monday, just waiting in the hospital. And occasionally doctors would come in, ask me questions because none of my family was there to answer them. So I had to answer questions, go over things, explain medications, go through all this stuff. And I thought in my downtime, I should just make a video while I was here because, it's that. My grandfather is old, doesn't know a lot about technology. And I didn't want try to record a video and have him questioning if I was talking to him. My grandmother waking up, questioning how she was gonna go to the bathroom, and think I was talking to her. So I was like, I'll make it when I get home. I realized off of 4 hours of sleep and that plus my mother waking up to make breakfast and ask me questions, I was more tired than I thought. So like after my grandmother got through everything, got surgery, and was everything, I was ready to go home to sleep. I grabbed some Taco Bell. I grabbed the chicken enchilada burrito. Got here, went to sleep, and I slept from whenever I got home because I cannot tell you when I got back. I can tell you that I left at some point in the maybe 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock range. But I came here, crashed, woke up around 12:31 to use the bathroom. And I was like, I'm forgetting something, but I'm too tired. I took some more meds. Because I didn't eat that much during that day. But because I didn't eat anything, I needed to eat something. I ate something, took my medication, and then went back to sleep. I woke up maybe an hour ago, and then just was like, I don't have the strength to do anything. But I needed to wake up because I don't know if my uncle is coming to take my grandfather back to the hospital. So I figured in the interim, waiting for that to happen, that I'd make a video, explain it why it's late, and just get through this thing because I'm essentially in limbo. I am still extremely tired. But it is what it is, because on top of everything else, I saw my movie, and when I got done with my movie, I also had to deal with other problems during that too, which led to me being up for about 5.5 hours after my movie. So the past few days, I've been getting weirdly long naps. And between free drinks and Monster Energy, I've been basically waking it through the day. It's early in the morning right now. I am tired. This is the video. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it to say anything about I wish my week was better than yours. If you existed normally, your week was better than mine. If you slept in your bed successfully, your week was better than mine. It's just the truth. And for next week, I have no idea. The grandmother has a fractured hip. She got surgery for it. My family's gonna go in and out, doing stuff, figuring out what to do next. So I have no idea what my next week is going to be. I know this week is weird. this weekend has been bad. It's predicated on the backs of no one having a forward plan. But I can say this, for the first time in I think the year and a half that I've been here, people are listening to the logic of what should be done, and we're trying to actually do things, because officially, with my grandmother being the one that's down for commission, change can be figured out. But there's nothing truly set in stone for it. I don't know. It's just a bad week. That's been what it is. I have no idea what's going to happen next week. I have no idea what's going to happen literally today. All I know is that I'm currently awake for the moment, and I literally had the energy to wake up, take some yogurt, take my meds, and I'm here now. So, that's everything. Yeah, that's just everything. I want to focus on good things, I really do. Idola's new album, Eviscerate, came out. I listened to a few more stuff. Apple playlist has been interesting. I might try to add a video to a new playlist on my channel. I don't know, because nothing is certain now with how all this is working out. So, yeah. Until next week, I guess. Ta.